Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Macon Campbell and this is maconSTUFF. So today is the 1st of November 2021 and there are officially 39 days left until the Desert Dash. My last update was 4 weeks ago and thankfully we have made some progress since then. So if you can remember, at week 4 I went through a bit of a dip and I only managed to do 113 kilometers that week, but thankfully the 3 weeks after that I've managed to pick it up again. On week 5 I managed 203 kilometers, week 6 I managed 247, week 7 I ended with 221, and once again last week I went down a bit, but I'll explain why that is in a minute. So as you can see, over the last 8 weeks I've managed 1,500 kilometers with just over 76 hours of riding. Now my strategy for the last 4 weeks has been a bit different to the first 4 weeks of riding, in that I've reduced the amount of shorter rides that I do during the week and opted more for much longer rides on the weekend. The longest of which was a couple of weeks ago at week 6, where we basically did a dry run of the Desert Dash and I managed to do 180 kilometers, which was up until the halfway mark of the Desert Dash. So I haven't got anything specific planned for the next 4 weeks. I'm just going to try and get in as many hours as I possibly can, just to build a nice strong base, and then I'm probably going to have to start tapering down a bit just before the race. So I mentioned last week took a bit of a dive in terms of training, and the reason for that was I had an issue with my bike. Now I was really looking forward to this update in this episode because I wanted to show you what my cross-country bike looked like after the respray and the rebuild. Now I'll show you a couple of pictures here of what that looked like, and I think it turned out really nice, and it rides even better than what it looks, and I managed to get more than 400 kilometers on it. But after my last long ride, while I was giving my bike a wash, I noticed that the crack that I had in the frame, which I repaired about a year ago, had returned. So needless to say, I was a little depressed about that, and my motivation to work out was drastically reduced while I was scrambling trying to figure out what I was going to do about this problem. So in the end I decided, because there's only a few weeks left before the race, having the bike fixed wasn't really going to work for me because there just wasn't going to be enough time. So I decided I was going to sell my motorbike in order to purchase a new bicycle. Now I was hoping this was going to happen fairly quickly because I did have someone who's been interested in buying my motorbike for quite some time now. So I contacted him, and unfortunately he wasn't in the position to make the purchase right now. So I went ahead and I advertised the bike on Facebook, but as these things go, it is probably going to take a while before it does sell. But thankfully my wife was nice enough to surprise me with the bike a couple of days after mine had broken, and I can't tell you how happy I am about that. So we'll just have to recoup that money once my motorbike sells. So the new bike I got is a Scott Spark 900 RC Pro, full carbon frame, 1x12 drivetrain, 32 chainring in the front, and a 10-51 cassette in the back. So I've only had this bike for about 4 or 5 days now, with about 100 kilometers of riding, and so far I must say it is an amazing bike and I'm really enjoying it. And I really think this is going to make a big difference in terms of the race for me. So that's about all I have to say in terms of my training over the last 4 weeks. So let's take a look at my stats in terms of my weight and my measurements. Now, while I haven't been shedding as rapidly as I'd hoped I would, I am still thankfully moving in the right direction. In my last update, if my memory serves me correctly, I think I was at 106.5 kilograms with about 114 centimeters around my waist. So as of this morning, I'm down to 104.6 and down to 111 around my waist. So even though my weight hasn't fallen as much as I'd liked it to, I have thankfully lost 3 centimeters around my waist over the last 4 weeks. So that at least shows me while I'm losing some weight and fat, I am at least building or retaining some of my muscle. Now the ultimate goal isn't really weight based, it is more about my measurement. Ultimately I would just like to look in the mirror and be satisfied with what is looking back at me. Now so far, compared to my photo 8 weeks ago, I am incredibly happy with the progress I've made so far. And compared to this photo of my weight at my heaviest, I'm almost blown away at the progress that I've made. And that has definitely given me even more motivation to keep pushing forward so that I can finally look and feel the way I've wanted to for the last 15 years. So with a little over 5 weeks left before the race, my next update is going to be 4 weeks from now, where I will hopefully be able to blow you and myself away with the progress that I've made. So with all that said, once again, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments or suggestions, go ahead and leave them down below. And as always, till next time, keep making stuff.